Picture this, the vast world of One Piece filled with pirates, marines, and incredible devil fruit powers. At the heart of it all is Monkey D. Luffy, our beloved future pirate king. He's known for his goofy grin, his unwavering determination, and his rubber-like body thanks to the power of the gum-gum fruit. But what if we change something fundamental about Luffy, something that defines his very image? What if Luffy, the rubber man, had no arms? Luffy without arms is a strange thought, isn't it? We're so used to his wild punches and stretchy arm attacks. His entire fighting style revolves around his limbs extending and contorting with seemingly limitless elasticity. He's a whirlwind of punches, each one carrying the weight of his dream to become the freest man on the sea. Without arms, how would Luffy navigate the Grand Line? A treacherous sea full of powerful adversaries and unforgiving challenges. Would he still be able to call himself a fighter? Would he even dream of becoming the Pirate King? These are the questions that dance in our minds as we dive into this intriguing what-if scenario. One Piece has always been a story about more than just physical strength. It's about the power of will, the strength of spirit, and the unwavering belief in one's dreams. Luffy, despite his often goofy exterior, embodies these qualities like no other. He faces every hardship, every opponent with a grin and an unbreakable spirit. Luffy's lack of arms would test his resilience like never before. It would challenge his fighting spirit, his ability to protect his crew, and his very essence as a pirate who thrives on close-quarters combat. But if there's one thing we know about Luffy, it's that he doesn't back down from a challenge. He finds a way, often in the most unexpected and creative ways. Imagine Luffy, without arms, still facing down the most fearsome foes the Grand Line has to offer. Imagine him finding new ways to fight, to push his devil fruit powers beyond their perceived limits. Imagine the awe of his crewmates, the shock of his enemies as Luffy, the armless wonder, rises to meet every challenge with his signature unwavering grin. Removing Luffy's arms doesn't just change Luffy. It sends ripples through the entire world of One Piece. The Grand Line is a delicate balance of power, with the world government, the 7 warlords, and countless pirate crews all vying for control. Luffy, with his unwavering moral compass and his dream of freedom, is a wrench in the gears of this world. How would the Marines react to an armless pirate who, despite his physical limitations, continues to dismantle their strongholds and challenge their authority? Would his bounty increase, reflecting the unpredictable nature of his fighting style? Or would they see him as less of a threat, a mistake they could easily rectify? And what about the other pirates? Would they see Luffy's lack of arms as a weakness to exploit, or would they be inspired by his unwavering spirit? Would new alliances form with crews recognizing the strength that lies in Luffy's heart, even without the might of his fists? Luffy's greatest asset has always been his devil fruit ability, the power of the gum-gum fruit. This power transformed him into a rubber man, granting him extraordinary elasticity and the ability to stretch his body to astonishing lengths. But with no arms, how would this power manifest? Would it be a curse, limiting his potential, or a blessing in disguise, pushing him to unlock hidden depths within the gum-gum fruit? Without arms to rely on, Luffy's entire body would become his weapon. His legs, torso, and even his head would become extensions of his will, stretching and contorting with even greater flexibility than before. Imagine Luffy, his legs becoming whips, lashing out with incredible speed and power. His kicks wouldn't be mere strikes. They'd be extensions of his rubber-enhanced muscles, capable of bending the very laws of physics. This adaptation wouldn't be easy. It would require immense strength, control, and creativity. Luffy would have to relearn everything about combat, pushing his body to its absolute limits to compensate for the lack of arms. But Luffy has never been one to shy away from a challenge. This new obstacle would only fuel his determination, pushing him to become a different but no less formidable kind of pirate. The world of One Piece has seen its fair share of skilled fighters, from swordsmen to fishmen to devil fruit users. But how would an armless fighter like Luffy find his place among them? What would his fighting style look like, and how would it stack up against the Grand Line's most notorious pirates and marines? Luffy's combat style would be a spectacle to behold. No longer relying on punches and grapples, he'd become a master of kicks, his legs transforming into deadly weapons. His fighting style would be a whirlwind of agility and acrobatics, using his rubber body to launch himself into the air, delivering devastating kicks from unexpected angles. Picture Luffy facing off against a group of Marines, his body a blur of motion. He leaps over one, his legs stretching high above his head, delivering a crushing axe kick to the Marine behind him. He spins on the balls of his feet, his other leg extending like a whip, striking two more Marines before they can even react. His opponents would be left baffled, struggling to counter attacks they can't even comprehend. This new fighting style wouldn't just be about brute force, it would be about precision and timing, about using Luffy's rubber body to its fullest potential. He would become a master of momentum, using his elasticity to build up power for his kicks, sending opponents flying with a single, well-placed strike. One of Luffy's most iconic abilities is Gear Second, a technique that pumps his blood at an accelerated rate, granting him superhuman speed and agility. But without arms to deliver rapid-fire punches, how would Gear Second manifest in this armless form? In this scenario, Gear Second would amplify Luffy's leg strength and speed to terrifying levels. Imagine a blur of motion, Luffy's legs moving faster than the eye can follow, delivering a barrage of kicks that could shatter boulders and leave even the fastest opponents struggling to keep up. Picture Luffy facing off against a speed-based opponent like Blueno from CP9. Blueno, known for his Soru technique, disappears and reappears at will, attempting to land a blow on the seemingly defenseless Luffy. But Luffy is ready. He activates Gear Second, his legs becoming a blur as he effortlessly dodges each of Blueno's attacks. The air crackles with energy as Luffy unleashes a flurry of kicks, each strike faster and more powerful than the last. Blueno, overwhelmed by the sheer speed and ferocity of Luffy's attacks, finds himself on the defensive, struggling to keep up with the armless but lightning-fast pirate. Gear Third allows Luffy to inflate his bones, increasing his size and strength to colossal levels. Traditionally, he focuses this inflation on his arms, creating giant fists to deliver devastating blows. But without arms, how would this power manifest? Could he achieve a similar effect, or would he need to find a completely new application for this powerful technique? Without arms to inflate, Luffy's Gear Third would take on a whole new form. Imagine Luffy channeling his power, not into his arms, but into his entire lower body. His legs would swell to an enormous size, becoming like mighty pillars capable of crushing anything in their path. Picture Luffy facing off against a giant opponent, someone like Oars, the resurrected giant zombie. Oars towers over Luffy, his massive fists capable of leveling buildings. Luffy, undeterred, activates Gear Third. His legs inflate to an incredible size, rivaling Oars' own limbs in terms of sheer mass. With a mighty roar, Luffy launches himself into the air, his massive legs carrying him high above Oars' head. He delivers a devastating downward kick, his foot connecting with Oars' skull with a force that shakes the very ground they stand on. One of the biggest challenges for an armless fighter is defense. Without arms to block or parry, Luffy would be incredibly vulnerable to attacks. However, Luffy's fighting style wouldn't just be about offense, it would be about adapting his devil fruit powers to create a whole new form of defense. Luffy's lack of arms would force him to rely on his agility and reflexes to avoid taking hits. His rubber body would become his shield, contorting and twisting to evade even the most precise attacks. He would become a master of slipping through defenses, turning his opponent's strength against them. Picture Luffy facing off against a skilled swordsman like Zoro. Zoro, known for his Santoryu style, launches a series of swift and deadly strikes, his swords flashing with deadly intent. But Luffy is ready. He twists his body, his rubber-like form, allowing him to bend and contort in ways no ordinary human could, narrowly avoiding each of Zoro's blades. Zoro, frustrated, increases the pace of his attacks, but Luffy is unfazed. He ducks, weaves, and bends, his movements becoming almost dance-like as he turns Zoro's own momentum against him, leading his blades on a merry chase around his rubbery form. The Straw Hat. Pirates are more than just a crew, they are a family, bound by loyalty, trust, and shared dreams. At the heart of this family stands Monkey D. Luffy, their captain, their inspiration. Luffy, without arms, faces new challenges as a leader. His crew would rally around him, their respect deepening. They would become his extensions, their hands, their strength. This act of assistance speaks volumes about the Straw Hat's dynamics. Roronoa Zoro, the swordsman of the Straw Hats, is Luffy's first mate, his trusted confidant, and often his voice of reason. Zoro, a man of few words but unwavering loyalty, would be deeply affected by Luffy's lack of arms. He would understand the challenges Luffy would face as a fighter without the use of his hands. Zoro, always fiercely protective of his captain, would likely become even more so. He would be Luffy's constant shadow, ready to step in at a moment's notice. His respect for Luffy's strength wouldn't waver, it might even grow. Imagine a scene during a fierce battle. Luffy, dodging and weaving around a barrage of enemy attacks, finds himself momentarily vulnerable. An enemy, seeing an opening, lunges at Luffy, weapon raised, but before the attack can land, Zoro intercepts it, his swords clashing against the enemy's weapon with a deafening clang. "Don't get careless, Luffy," Zoro grunts, his eyes never leaving their opponents. Zoro's actions wouldn't be born out of pity, they would be an extension of his respect. He would push Luffy to train harder, to adapt his fighting style, to become even stronger. They support each other, they challenge each other, and they grow stronger together. Nami and Sanji, the navigator and the cook of the Straw Hats, are fiercely independent with their own dreams. They feel a greater sense of responsibility, stepping up to support Luffy in unexpected ways. Nami becomes more protective, using her intelligence to anticipate threats. Sanji ensures Luffy is well fed and ready for battle. "Eat up, Luffy, you're going to need your energy." Usopp and Chopper, the sniper and the doctor of the Straw Hats, are often seen as the most vulnerable members of the crew. Usopp, despite his cowardly tendencies, would find his bravery tested and strengthened. Chopper, with his kind heart and his unwavering belief in Luffy, would be a constant source of medical attention and emotional support. Picture this. After a grueling battle, Luffy lies on the deck, battered and bruised. Chopper rushes to his side, his tiny hooves clattering, and immediately sets to work bandaging Luffy's wounds. Luffy, without arms, would undoubtedly change the dynamics of the Straw Hat crew. It would push them, challenge them, and force them to adapt in ways they never thought possible. But one thing would remain constant: their unwavering loyalty to their captain and to each other. Picture the Straw Hat crew years later, standing together on the deck of the Thousand Sunny, the sun setting behind them. They have conquered the Grand Line, overcome impossible odds, and achieved their dreams together as a family. The Arlong Park arc was a pivotal moment in Luffy's journey. Without arms, Luffy's fight against Arlong would be a testament to his adaptability and willpower. Imagine the scene. Luffy, standing in the flooded ruins of Arlong Park, water up to his waist. Arlong charges at Luffy, his claws bared, but Luffy leaps over him, delivering a powerful axe kick to Arlong's back. Luffy retaliates with a swift roundhouse kick to Arlong's jaw, sending shockwaves through the water. The Alabasta arc saw Luffy face off against Crocodile, a warlord of the sea with the power of the sand fruit. Luffy's lack of arms would make this fight even more challenging, as Crocodile's sand powers could easily exploit his lack of traditional defenses. Imagine the scene, the scorching Alabasta sun beating down on the vast desert. Luffy, his body covered in sand but his spirit unbroken, faces Crocodile, who sends a wave of sand towards Luffy. Luffy leaps high into the air, his legs stretching like elastic bands, and lands lightly on the other side, his eyes locked on Crocodile. Scipio, a land of clouds and dreams, held a new set of challenges for Luffy and his crew. Enel, the self-proclaimed god of Scipio, wielded the power of the Rumble fruit, making him a living conductor of lightning. Imagine the scene. Luffy, standing on a floating platform high above the White Sea, faces off against Enel. Lightning crackles around Enel's body and he raises his hand, shooting a bolt of lightning towards Luffy. Luffy disappears in a blur of motion, his legs carrying him across the platform with incredible speed, dodging the lightning bolt by a hair's breadth. Enies Lobby, the impregnable judicial island of the world government, became the stage for a desperate rescue mission. Luffy, fueled by his promise to Robin, faced off against Rob Lucci, a CP9 assassin with extraordinary strength and speed. Imagine the scene. Luffy, standing on the rooftop of Enies Lobby, faces Lucci, who launches a series of Shigan attacks. Luffy dodges each attack with pinpoint accuracy and retaliates with a swift roundhouse kick, sending Lucci flying backwards. Lucci, landing gracefully, looks at Luffy with newfound respect. Thriller Bark, a haunted ship sailing through the Florian Triangle, presented Luffy with a different kind of challenge. Gecko Moria, a warlord of the sea with the power to manipulate shadows. Luffy's lack of arms would become an unexpected advantage against Moria's shadow manipulation. Imagine the scene. The deck of Thriller Bark, shrouded in an eerie green mist. Luffy, surrounded by a horde of grotesque zombies, grins and says, "You underestimate me, Moria. Your shadows can't control what they can't catch." He leaps into the air, his body twisting and contorting, dodging zombie attacks with ease, his legs lashing out with blinding speed. The Marineford War, a cataclysmic clash between the world government and Whitebeard's pirate fleet, was a turning point in Luffy's life. Luffy, driven by the desperate need to save his brother Ace, found himself in the middle of a war zone. Imagine the scene, the air thick with smoke and the stench of blood. Luffy, his clothes torn, races across the battlefield, dodging cannon fire and leaping over fallen bodies. He spots Ace on the execution platform and screams, "Ace!" pushing himself harder. His legs a blur of motion as he fights his way through the throngs of Marines. Dressrosa, a kingdom ruled by the warlord Doflamingo, became a battleground for Luffy and his alliance. Luffy's lack of arms would force him to be even more creative and resourceful in his fight against Doflamingo. Imagine the scene, the streets of Dressrosa, transformed into a chaotic battleground by Doflamingo's birdcage. Luffy, standing in the middle of the chaos, faces Doflamingo, who says, "You can't defeat me. I control everything in this kingdom." Luffy grins and replies, "We'll see about that, Doflamingo." I'm going to break your birdcage and free this kingdom, even if it's the last thing I do. Section 8, Wano Country, a legacy forged in fire, a future shaped by will. Wano Country, a land of samurai and ancient traditions, faced Kaido, the strongest creature in the world. Kaido, a dragon, plunged Wano into darkness, exploiting its resources and enslaving its people. Luffy, inspired by Wano's samurai, aimed to liberate the land from Kaido's tyranny. Luffy embodied Wano's spirit, fighting with unwavering willpower. He fought alongside the samurai, incorporating their techniques, every kick a testament to his determination to liberate Wano. Imagine the ravaged landscape of Wano, scarred by Kaido's oppression. Luffy, with the Straw Hats, faces Kaido, the Emperor. The air crackles with tension, the wind whistling through ruins. "You think you can defeat me, Straw Hat?" Kaido roars. "You and your alliance are nothing compared to my power." Luffy, undeterred, locks eyes with Kaido. He knows the odds are against them, but the fate of Wano rests on his shoulders. He grins, his straw hat shadowing his eyes, determination burning within. "We'll see about that, Kaido," he says, filled with resolve. "We're not backing down. We're going to defeat you and liberate Wano no matter what it takes." Section 1, The Armless Emperor. A paradox of power. The world of One Piece operates on strength and reputation. Emperors challenge the world government, reshaping power. How would the world perceive Monkey D. Luffy, a man with no arms? It's a paradox that intrigues the world. The Marines would grapple with Luffy's enigma. Their intelligence networks buzz with his exploits. Some officials might see his lack of arms as a weakness. Others, like Akainu, recognize Luffy's willpower. Among emperors, reactions would be mixed. Blackbeard might see Luffy as an easy target. Shanks would recognize Luffy's indomitable spirit. This dissonance defines Luffy's legend. He remains a puzzle the world struggles to solve. Luffy challenges the notion of strength, proving true power comes in many forms. Section 2, The Climbing Bounty. A measure of unpredictability. Bounties in the world of One Piece are more than just a price on a pirate's head. They are a reflection of their perceived threat to the world government. Every pirate, from the lowliest rookie to the most notorious captain, carries a bounty that tells a story about their deeds, their strength, and their potential to disrupt the established order. Luffy, without arms, would present a unique challenge to the Marines' system of assigning bounties. Initially, his lack of arms might lead to a lower bounty than his original counterpart. The Marines, used to judging strength by conventional standards, might see his disability as a significant handicap. They would underestimate him, misinterpreting his resilience as recklessness, his unorthodox fighting style as a mere novelty. However, as Luffy's legend grows, as news of his victories against increasingly powerful foes spread like wildfire, his bounty would skyrocket. The Marines would be forced to re-evaluate their assessment, realizing that Luffy's lack of arms was not a weakness, but a testament to his ability to adapt, to turn adversity into an advantage. His bounty wouldn't just reflect his strength, but also his unpredictability. The Marines would struggle to anticipate his moves, to counter his unorthodox fighting style. He would become a constant thorn in their side, a symbol of defiance against their attempts to impose order on a chaotic world. Section 3, Whispers on the Winds, Legends of the Straw Hat Captain. The world of One Piece thrives on stories. Tales of epic battles, legendary treasures, and extraordinary individuals travel from island to island, carried on the salt-laden winds and whispered in hushed tones in crowded taverns. Luffy, with his unwavering spirit and his incredible journey to become the Pirate King, would become a legend unlike any other, his story told and retold with a mixture of awe and disbelief. In the darkest corners of the Grand Line, where hope flickers like a candle in the wind, Luffy's story would be a beacon of inspiration. People would whisper about the armless pirate who challenged the world government, who faced down seemingly insurmountable odds, with a grin on his face and an unyielding belief in his dreams. His fights would become the stuff of legends, each victory more unbelievable than the last. People would talk about the time he defeated a fishman warlord using only his legs, the time he outmaneuvered a lightning-fast assassin with his contortionist agility, the time he toppled a giant with a single earth-shattering kick. His lack of arms, far from diminishing his legend, would become an integral part of it. He would be a symbol of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome any obstacle, to achieve the impossible when fueled by unwavering determination. Section 4. A beacon of hope, inspiration in unconventional forms. Luffy's journey challenges societal norms, showing true strength comes in many forms. He inspires those marginalized to dream big and strive for their goals. Luffy's story is a testament to the limitless potential within us all. He shows that true strength comes from the heart and belief in oneself. Beyond physical limits, the triumph of the human spirit. Luffy's journey is about defying expectations, proving willpower and determination can overcome obstacles. His entire being is a testament to the boundless potential of the human spirit. Every victory, every challenge overcome, declares we are defined by our will, not physical attributes. Luffy's lack of arms symbolizes this struggle, showing limitations can be overcome with resolve. A captain's evolution, leading with heart, not hands. Luffy's leadership style has always been unconventional, defined by his infectious enthusiasm, his unwavering trust in his crew, and his ability to inspire those around him to reach their full potential. But Luffy, without arms, would undergo a profound evolution as a captain, his leadership style shifting from one of physical strength to one of empathy, understanding and unwavering support. Without the ability to physically guide his crew, to pull them out of harm's way, or deliver a reassuring pat on the back, Luffy would need to rely on his emotional intelligence, his ability to connect with his crew on a deeper level. He would become more attuned to their needs, their fears, their dreams, fostering an environment of trust and vulnerability, where each member feels seen and valued. Imagine a scene where Zoro, usually the stoic swordsman, confides in Luffy about a moment of doubt, a flicker of fear that threatens to extinguish his fighting spirit. Luffy, unable to offer a comforting hand on the shoulder, instead leans in, his eyes filled with understanding and empathy, his words carrying the weight of shared experiences, of battles fought and victories won together. This shift in Luffy's leadership wouldn't diminish his authority. If anything, it would strengthen it. His crew, witnessing his vulnerability, his willingness to rely on them, would respond with even greater loyalty and devotion, recognizing that true strength lies not in physical dominance, but in the unwavering support of one another. Section 3. The world turned upside down, challenging perceptions of strength. The world of One Piece often equates physical power with authority, with the ability to impose one's will upon others. Luffy, with his devil fruit powers and his relentless pursuit of freedom, has always challenged this notion. But Luffy, without arms, turns this concept on its head, forcing the world to confront its own deeply ingrained prejudices and re-evaluate its definition of strength. His very existence becomes a walking, talking contradiction, a testament to the fact that true strength is not limited to physical prowess. His victories, often achieved through unconventional tactics and sheer willpower, would spark debate and introspection throughout the Grand Line. People would question their own assumptions, their own biases, realizing that true strength can manifest in countless forms, some more subtle and unexpected than others. Imagine the reactions of various characters to Luffy's armless form. Smoker, the relentless marine captain, initially dismissive of Luffy's perceived weakness, would find himself increasingly drawn to Luffy's unwavering spirit, his ability to inspire loyalty and challenge the status quo. Boa Hancock, the pirate empress initially captivated by Luffy's naive charm, would find her admiration deepening, recognizing the profound strength that lay beneath his goofy exterior. Luffy's journey wouldn't just inspire individuals, it would challenge the very fabric of society, forcing people to confront their own preconceived notions and embrace a more inclusive definition of strength. Section 4. A legacy of resilience inspiring generations to come. Luffy's impact on the world wouldn't be limited to his lifetime. His story, passed down through generations, would become a timeless tale of resilience, a beacon of hope for those who feel marginalized, underestimated, or defined by their perceived limitations. His armless form, far from being a mark of weakness, would become a symbol of his indomitable spirit, a testament to the boundless potential that resides within us all. Imagine years later, long after Luffy has achieved his dream of becoming the Pirate King, a young child born with a physical disability stumbles upon a faded, wanted poster of Luffy. The child, perhaps feeling isolated, different, sees in Luffy a reflection of themselves, a symbol of hope that they too can achieve their dreams, no matter the obstacles in their path. This is the legacy of Monkey D. Luffy, the armless pirate who dared to dream of becoming the freest man on the sea. He would leave behind a world forever changed by his unwavering spirit, a world where physical limitations no longer define one's potential, where true strength is measured by the courage of one's heart and the unwavering belief in one's dreams. Section 1. The unwavering spirit of the Pirate King. Luffy, the future Pirate King, navigates treacherous seas without arms, igniting a fire within him to adapt and evolve. His journey is a testament to the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Every challenge becomes a symphony of resilience, a testament to boundless potential. Luffy, standing at the helm, his crew behind him, faces etched with awe and faith. The Grand Line stretches before them, teeming with danger and opportunity. Luffy laughs, a sound that speaks of dreams undeterred, of a spirit unbroken. This is the essence of Monkey D. Luffy, the armless wonder who dared to dream of becoming the Pirate King. True strength lies in the unwavering belief in ourselves and the courage to chase our dreams. Section 2. A legacy etched in rubber, not steel. Luffy's journey transcends physical limitations, becoming a powerful metaphor for the human experience. True strength is not the absence of weakness, but the courage to embrace it and adapt. His legacy is etched in hearts, not steel, inspiring resilience and compassion. Imagine a world touched by Luffy's spirit, where differences are celebrated. This is the world Luffy, the armless Pirate King, would leave behind. As we bid farewell, we carry the lessons and inspiration from Luffy's journey. We are reminded of our potential for greatness and the courage to chase dreams. It is not the length of our reach, but the strength of our hearts that defines us.